Hello and welcome to My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Today is Saturday, यानी कि शनिवार. किसका शनि होगा भारी? Oh, sorry, the Hindi is for tomorrow. Yes. Just flip 1 second. Just flip the switch. Hello and welcome back. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me is Uthappa and Joy Bhattacharjya. Hello, gentlemen. How are you this afternoon?
Very good. Thank you so much.
I just take it too short, no? I just want to do, I did this joke on Instagram as well, but I want to do it again. Just in case you're having a dull Saturday, it's a boring Saturday, you don't know what to do, you really want to watch cricket, don't let anyone be, too short, robbing your joy, because we are here, right? Desh ka Gaurav is here.
Desh ka Gaurav.
Desh ka Gaurav, and if you cut back to me, it's Desh ka Saurav also. See, back. Desh ka Gaurav and Desh ka Saurav both are here on My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Okay, I've got that out of my system. I was not here for 2 days, so just needed to get those PJs out of my system because honestly, I think I'm rubbing Joy off the wrong way as well. I was watching that Twitter discussion yesterday with your jokes. What's going on, Professor Bhattacharya? Anything you'd like to discuss? Where's my pipe? Can I get my pipe?
I'm sorry. I said, Gaurav's not there. I felt the pressure of having performance anxiety, So I had to borrow a few bad ones and they were even worse than yours, which is very difficult to believe, but it happened.
That is true. It is because I'm regularly scraping the bottom of the barrel. So to go below that as well, you're excavating. You're going deep into the oil well. Okay, who's feeling the pressure today? Robbie, is it fair to say that England will feel a bit of pressure today? Because with 1-1 in the tournament, today they can't afford to lose, right? Today it's just simple. You can't afford to lose any game.
Well, yeah, of course, they can't afford to lose, but I'm sure that today they will be a little bit more under pressure because they're coming from a loss and an unexpected one. Nobody expected England to lose that game against Pakistan. So, coming into this game, there will be a little bit of pressure, there will be a little bit of nerves, and they'll want to, kind of restart their campaign with a win here. Yeah,
there you go. So they won the first game, and that was a big win, obviously, by 104 runs. Against Pakistan, Pakistan showed a lot of character. At the 42nd, 43rd over mark, Butler was batting. You thought, okay, they're going to take this home. They're going to win. And then they pulled that victory out. Sometimes can those defeats wrangle even more than one-sided defeats?
They do. Because, bad defeats that you've completely lost, you said, I've had a bad day, it's happened, forget about it, let's go home, forget it, we don't need to discuss it. These, when you know that you were so close to the line that you could have crossed, and England has prided themselves on playing in a particular way, that, every batsman will keep going for it because they have that kind of, batting firepower to keep going and keep making those runs. They never allow the run rate to climb above a certain rate, which is the opposite of what Dhoni plays. So they play in a particular way. They didn't succeed in a big chase. It'll rankle a bit, and what they'll want to do is just change it today because the next opponent is equally tricky. See, West Indies is another one. You don't know which West Indies will turn up,
Correct.
4 fast bowlers, suddenly Ocean Thomas comes and takes 2 wickets, or Gale goes
You don't know whether the Leeward Islands are coming out or the Windward Islands are coming out, right? Exactly. You don't know which side of the hill is coming.
So that's it. These are a couple of tricky games. They'll want to at least put this one in their bag. Because, the West Indies are again a very, very unpredictable side in this.
This saying that we heard so much when we were growing up. Remember, there was this saying, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, right? England will see their previous game like that, and if they analyze it, for them it's simple. Like just Joy said, that batting order towards the end, they always got a lot of runs in the death overs. By always, I mean in the last few years leading up to the World Cup. And that's probably one department that's been a shortfall here. And as you can see, makes the analysis very simple because they've done a cut, copy, paste in both games. That's a little weird though, right? It's a little weird.
What's a bit
76
worrying,
for 4 is weird.
What's worrying is the lack of boundaries. Because they've always been a side that scored
a lot of boundaries.
And in the first match, you can still understand, the oval, the ball was not, it was not coming on. It was just a bit, they were not getting contact. The ball was not coming on. But the second one, it shouldn't have been. I mean, those are not the kind of numbers England will be happy with, particularly the way they bat normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you panic? You say England are favourites. I know it's only 2 games. Is there panic? Or if it's panic, is it justified?
I don't think there's panic, but I think there's a sense of, okay, let's get our campaign back on track, kind of a mindset right now. So I'm certainly going to perceive it in the lines of, okay, how have we reacted to defeats prior to the World Cup? And what can we take away from that, and how can we apply that approach into this game? So I'm sure their focus, I think their sole focus, if you watched England cricket over the last couple of years, has been that they focused on their strengths, irrespective of who the oppositions are, and backed their strengths and gone out there and performed. So every time they've had a blip in the sense of a defeat, then they come back and they realign themselves to that. So, in the larger scheme of things for England, this could be a good wake-up call in the course of this tournament. For them to build momentum. And it's also about in tournaments like this where the tournaments played in a more IPL-esque fashion. You want to peak at the right time. You don't want to peak too early because you see a lot of teams peaking early and then fading away in the back end of the tournament. And that can happen as well.
It's a long tournament. It's a 45-day tournament, in fact. So. But here's another thing, right? Of course, England has had this resurgence and they've rebooted their ODI team. Pretty much, I mean, they lost to Bangladesh in 2015. One of the catalysts, actually, for this change that happened in the brand of cricket that England played in ODIs. But there's obviously that monkey on the back that they've never won a World Cup. They've never won a 50-over World Cup. Sorry, for nerds, they have won a 2020 World Cup. They haven't won a 50-over World Cup. And, Robbie, going into a big tournament like this, you go, all right, we've been destroying everybody the last few years. But hey, this is the World Cup. That can weigh on your shoulder a bit, right?
It definitely can. Of course it can. They definitely want to tick that box and say, okay, we've won a 50-over World Cup as well. And going into this tournament, they're going in as favourites. So that pressure is also going to add. I remember hearing Mashraf Murtaza speaking about how they'd be under pressure in this game against Bangladesh because, they're the favourites to win and they haven't won a World Cup. And, they've been runners-up in the past, but never really won it. So
yeah, and in fact, the last few World Cups, I mean, they were runners-up in '92 in Australia when Pakistan won. After that, it's been
from 90s onwards. They've been rubbish for the last 20 years. Okay. I mean, I'm not joking.
Trying to put it nicely. They've tried to be polite English.
They've played some cricketers. I think one of them was a chap called, was it Martin Peters or somebody, who used to be great when it was, cloudy in England and he used to swing the ball a mile and they played... Not Mark Elam. Mark Elam was still could bat.
The guy you've named right now, I think he was the Vodafone International CEO.
No, or was he the Manchester United footballer? Have I mixed up? England footballer, sorry, I'm now mixing up.
We gotta go and search
some
for
Martin
this.
It is, yeah.
But are you talking about Mark Elam?
No, this guy was 6 feet 4 inches tall.
And
he used to bowl,
Shaquille O'Neal?
He used to bowl slower than me.
Yeah, okay.
Gentle swing, as you say, which looks fantastic in England, but in the subcontinent, they used to play him and he used to get hammered. Yeah. So England really, when they got Trevor Bayliss, they just said, we're rubbish in white ball cricket. Let's get it on track. And if you see their record, they've never been good after. 92 was the last time they seriously challenged.
Yeah.
99, they give it a bit of a shot, but and they've picked always for the test team, and it's a good thing. We're going to sit at Lord's and have a cup of chai and talk about test cricket.
Yeah.
And suddenly they said, forget it, the world is going white ball. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So they got hold of TB and now they're a formidable white ball side because they play to something exactly what he said, holding their shape. They said, we've got 8 guys who can whack the ball and the last 3 are not shabby either. We'll keep whacking the ball. There's going to be one day when all of us get out and we're going to be, 70 for 8. But that's going to be one day out of 10.
Yeah.
9 days out of 10, we're going to reach 300 playing this track.
Just keep going.
If I may add to that, the fact that what would have probably affected England a little bit more is the fact that 2 guys got hundreds in the last game and they still didn't go through over the line.
Yeah.
So all it meant was they needed one more 40-50 run performance in that batting order, and so there are 2 ways of perceiving it. They'd either perceive it as, hey, we just needed that 40 runs from somebody else in the batting order, and that can come from anyone because all of them are in such scintillating form. Or it could be like 2 guys got hundreds and we still didn't get over the line.
Yeah.
Man, there's are we good enough?
Yeah.
So there could be 2 perceptions, but I'm pretty certain that
that's a big one. I don't know if there's ever been a Root and Butler individual century from both, which has ended up on the losing side. I don't know in history if there's too many 2 centuries which have ended up in an unsuccessful chase. That would be interesting to sort of look up.
Yeah, but also in this game against Pakistan, they were chasing 348. And they were still favourites to win it.
Yeah.
And that has happened since TB has taken over.
Yeah.
And Trevor Bayliss has that impact on players when he's a coach.
You both have spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah, I was fortunate to spend a couple of years with him in KKR, and he was fantastic, very non-intrusive, and does the works, does the yards, throws balls at players, really works with them, really gets to know you, and and someone who's got such a calming effect over the whole team. And that's exactly what you want. And, at the helm of a unit that wants to achieve something in world cricket. You need someone to really have that calm over the entire team. And he's got that. That persona is really good, a very positive person. Always looks at what can be done and not about what's not done.
Yeah.
And what should be done. He's like, okay, this can be done. Let's look at achieving this. And he keeps it really simple. And that makes it so much easier for the players within the group to go ahead and try and achieve what they want to achieve for the team.
You guys lifted a trophy with him at the helm, right? At KKR?
Yes, yeah.
Two trophies. I mean,
two trophies.
I've seen him in 12, win it in
12
and
and
win it
14.
in 14.
And we lost the Champions Trophy, the Champions League.
Champions.
Yeah, and in the finals we were runners up.
Because Sunil Narayan was the day before called for his action.
Yeah, he was
just the day before.
Out of the blue, just called for his action.
Conspiracy theory.
Theory.
I have a lot to say on that. That's a full show by itself.
And we shall do it someday. Perhaps not today. Let's have a look at the teams. Is England batting first? Bangladesh won the toss. Of course, England is batting first. They've made the one change. Moeen Ali not playing today. Liam Plunkett comes in his place. Reasons, gentlemen, with Cardiff, Sophia Gardens, no spin, not that much spin, don't need to.
Obviously that, and he's, as your statistics would say, Moeen has not been having the greatest run of late.
Yeah.
It is a difficult position. So here's what we also should discuss. That's basically his record. But there's one point that I think Robbie's going to make far more, which is the whole business of being a starter versus a finisher.
Yeah, I mean, he comes to bat. He's batted top of the order a lot, but last 2 years...
I genuinely believe this is the hardest position to bat in world cricket.
7.
In cricket, period. Number 7 in limited overs cricket is the toughest position to bat at.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're either going when they're 40 for 5 or 120 for 5 in a one-day game, or you're going at 360 for 5, where everything's done and dusted and you have 2 overs, 3 overs to go.
Yeah.
So you just go hell for leather in the last 3 overs, or you go in a situation where you're deeply under pressure and you have to rescue the side.
Yeah.
So your rate of success is always going to be less. And there's something that MS always said, when he batted in number 7, he's like, you're not going to succeed every game. You're not going to succeed 5 out of 10 games. But when you succeed, make sure you succeed big.
Oh, so make the impact when, okay.
So,
I get what you're saying. Because when you see number 7, like you're putting it, it's either a tough position to come into bat or a really tough position to come into bat, right?
I'll simplify it even more. It's, at the end of the day, it's a reactive position. See, what happens is your top 3 batsmen dictate a game.
Yeah.
They decide, okay, this is how fast we'll score, this is what we'll do, this is what we'll... They can act.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 is reacting.
It's all reaction.
So anything that you're reacting means you can't decide what your pace is has already been decided by you, boss. I'm 70 for 3. I have now got to 70 for 4. I've got to bat out now. I have to bat at 4 and 5. Or I'm 330 for 3 for 5, and
there's 2 overs to play.
And that's why someone like Joss Buttler has created such an impact, because he goes there and his reaction to every situation that he goes in a bat is the same. And so he kind of again, like, not lays the foundation, but builds on what's been built already.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so dynamic and destructive today as a batsman in one day in limited overs cricket, because he goes out there and he calls the shots irrespective of what the situation is. And not everyone's going to be able to do that in world cricket. And I don't think England are overtly concerned about Moeen Ali's lack of form, so to speak, simply because they've been doing so well.
Yeah.
Right. And he brings so much as a bowler into that unit.
Good player, man. I like watching.
Like, he's a great fielder, bowls really well. I think he's one of the few bowlers in world cricket who, on the back of Indian batsmen's mind, like, hey, that guy's a good bowler.
Yeah.
And irrespective of what format, he's gonna cause trouble to us.
Yeah, he definitely, Moeen Ali is definitely one of those high impact players. Okay, listen, we need you to make an impact as well. You pick your team, make your impact where? On My 11 Circle. How do you do that? Download the app, boys and girls. It's pretty simple. I tell you every day. Get this done, man. I know you have it, so select the game, create your team, and then, of course, you can play and you can beat Dada. That's right. Yeah, just got to beat him 5 times. 5 times more cash. Come on, you can do this. It's pretty easy. Bangladesh, what's their team? They have decided to go in unchanged. Let's have a look at their 11 for this game. They're, of course, bowling first. And there you go. Mashraf Murtaza, the captain, decided that they wanted to chase. I don't know. I guess against England, that's the tactic most people want to do, right? You just never know.
I think especially in Cardiff, in Sophia Gardens, you really want to have first crack at the wicket. And, with their bowling lineup, I think they'd want to bowl first. And they've been batting really well. So
I think they are a fairly experienced side. They've got a lot of players out there who've been there, done this. A lot of players of the 2015 team that beat England, mind you.
Yeah.
That 5 of this England side was also there in that game. So it's not as if that England is a completely changed outfit. Of course, they're playing very differently now.
Was Mahmudullah there in 2011 as well?
Yep,
he was there in 11 as well when they beat England.
There are lots of players in this side who are playing the third or fourth World Cup.
Yeah. 2007 onwards. So
8 guys who are in this side in the 15 who have played in the previous World Cup.
So this was, of course, the game that they played in 2015.
Yeah.
11.
Sorry, this was in 11.
Yeah,
in Chittagong this was,
yes,
right?
Yes, this was in Chittagong.
So this was played in Chittagong. 225 is what England got batting first. They're going to get a few more than that, is my feeling, gentlemen.
Yeah.
A few more.
I suspect they should.
125 more.
125 more. He's already got his My 11 Circle expert couch prediction in. He's got it in early. What time is it? Let's see.
We've got time.
Yeah, look at you. You've got that in early. I like it. It's just getting it in there. So you're saying they're going to score 370?
350.
What was
225.
It was 225. Sorry, I thought it was 249. So
and they were all out as well.
So 225. So you're going for 350. Ooh, it is going to be a spicy meatball if it goes to 350. It's going to be fun to watch. I don't know, but against this Bangladesh bowling, we'll pull that up again. Against this Bangladesh bowling, remember their bowling is not the kind of bowling that the England top order really relishes, right? They like it coming on.
They do. They definitely do. And I think that's something
Bangladesh likes stopping it.
Yeah, I think that's something that England will face through the rest of the tournament. They'll have spinners bowling at them in the first 10, trying to push them back and get that early breakthrough. But I think they have their plans to even counter that. And I think with the way these guys are bowling, I think Mehdi Hassan, someone who's bowled really well for them in the first 10 overs. Shakib comes in, bowls #1 all-round in the world. Does his thing, comes in and does his thing. So I think it's going to be something that England have to face through the rest of the tournament. So I don't think they're going to be overtly concerned about it. They will have their approach sorted out, knowing Trevor and the impact he has in the side. He would have sorted out that, given them a solution for how to deal with that first 7 to 10 overs of spin.
Yeah, let's have a look at the points table real quick also. We have Michael Vaughan, of course, who has his input on the game. We'll go on that right after we look at the points table, because this is what we're talking about, right? So England is 1-1. Bangladesh is also 1-1. It's yesterday's game that's going to throw the spanner in the works, right? Or the lack of a game yesterday that's going to throw a spanner in the works.
It actually suits Sri Lanka and Pakistan because, being on an odd number means you normally don't have to worry about run rate.
Yeah.
Because you're going to either end up 1 point above or 1 point below.
Wait, are you saying it's never going to rain again this summer in England? Come on.
That's also true. That may be a big call on my side. But rain out, I'm saying that given what normally happens in England, nowadays there's such good the clearing of the pitch is now so fast that, complete rain outs, I don't expect that many.
Yeah, I hope so, because yesterday was obviously a tough day for everyone in the studio. I don't know what's happening in the game. I'm just saying for us here, to sort of wait around.
Yeah, the waiting around is like the hardest part.
We're just only looking out for ourselves. Listen, this is a very selfish world, man. It's Kalyug. Michael Vaughan, who's he looking out for? He's joining us on centre stage from the UK. I really think Michael's section should have been called You Have Been Warned. That's all. But we've decided to call it centre stage. Let's see what he has to say.
Right, it's nearly time to get to Cardiff. England versus Bangladesh. Now, England losing to Pakistan, that shocked us all. What was wrong with them? Fielding. They just didn't have any kind of rhythm out in the field. They were fumbling the ball, dropping catches. For the first time in probably 4 years, Owen Morgan just missed a few tricks in the field, didn't quite get his fielders in the right position. England didn't bowl great. I thought they bowled the wrong length. I thought they overdid the short ball, but they only lost by 14 runs. I think that's the quality of the England side, that they can have a really bad day and only lose by 14 runs. Now, how do they bounce back? Bangladesh, of all the lesser teams, of all the teams that you probably wouldn't fancy to go on and win the tournament, this is the one that I concern myself about with the England side. They've beaten England in the last 2 World Cups. They knocked England out in the last World Cup in Adelaide in 2015. They're a good team, Bangladesh. Whether the conditions are going to suit them, Cardiff has had a little bit of movement, which should favour the England side. But but they'll know that Bangladesh will hit them with spin. You know, the three spinners. The opening pair are going to face spin. Probably Shakib Al Hassan will bowl the first over. Leg spin's done for Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow. But the pitch should have a little bit of a green tint. It's been raining all day in Cardiff, so you think there's going to be a bit of moisture there. That should suit the England side. The atmosphere, well, the Bangladesh crowd, you would say, have probably been with India in Southampton, Pakistan at Trent Bridge. The best of the supporters. I would say that Bangladesh just tip it at this stage in terms of support. The noise that they created against New Zealand, I know they lost, but the noise they created at the Oval for the New Zealand game and the South Africa game was absolutely fantastic. This is the one game I'm concerned about. I have to say, I feel that England, having lost to Pakistan, they'll be a little bit edgy, they'll be a bit nervy. And as long as the conditions are in their favour, I think they'll be fine. If they just get the wrong end of the conditions, they lose a dodgy toss, or Tammy Iqbal has his day, he's not really fired yet. This is the one game that I have a little bit of concern about. If England win tomorrow, semi-finals, don't worry about that. But I don't know why, whether it's just the Pakistan loss, I'm not too sure. But I have a few concerns about the England side going into tomorrow's game. It's Cardiff, where England got knocked out against Pakistan in the Champions Trophy. It's Bangladesh, they've beaten us in the last two World Cups. I guess it's third time lucky that England will beat Bangladesh.
I have not seen Warnie this nervous in really long. What's going on?
He must have been really warning that English side, because he looked really concerned.
He looked ashen, I've never seen him like this.
Really did. What's going on, Warnie? Come on over. Let's have a drink. Let's have a jalapeno risotto. You know, the one that you like. Come on, let's calm your nerves a little. Tell you, the other guys who need their nerves calmed are the England openers, because they're going to be facing spin again. That's pretty much given. They faced it twice before in this World Cup. It's not worked out well for them. They'll be nervy against the spin, won't they, Robbie?
More than that, I think they'd come out there and say, okay, let's prove a point. This is going to happen towards the rest of the tournament. Let's take this bull by its horns and deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't work out, so be it. But let's go out there with our best attitude, with our best intent, and try and make this work for our team.
But they've got them thinking, haven't they? Because now they have to make a choice. It's like, should we play a natural game, or should we just play this over out? And that's when it begins, right? The unraveling begins then.
Also, don't be surprised if Mushrave comes in and bowls just medium pace at them in the beginning for the first 3, 4, 5 overs, because he's going to say the only time the ball is going to move around a bit, the pitch has a bit in it. He'll fancy that, okay, let me give 3, 4, 5 overs of fast bowling. Let's see if there's an edge or not. Again,
it's a tough choice again for Bangladesh.
Yeah, they've gone in expecting spin, and suddenly, you get medium pace, swing from both ends. So there's lots of games happening, and the advantage is all Bangladesh has to do is play games with them, because when you're the underdog, you throw whatever you want to. So nobody will blame you for going wrong. You'll say they're a much better team than us. We just did. Yeah. And this Bangladesh team is an interesting one. People talk about playing this World Cup. The core of this team has been together since the 2006 Under-19 World Cup, where the only team. So 2007 they played, but Shakib, Mushraf, Tamim, Mushfiqur. All 4 of these guys, 4 of their big 5 have been there since 2006.
Nice. I love it when Joyda seconds my opinion about this Bangladesh side, because I've been saying that this Bangladesh side is going to be one of the most dangerous Bangladesh sides that have played World Cup cricket.
Yeah, but Joy, you've called them the underdog. Michael Vaughan doesn't agree with you. Michael Vaughan's like, no. They're the overdog in this game. Is that a term?
No, I don't think so.
Is now. Is now, gentlemen. Overdog. Okay, well, so there you go. It's obviously, it's chess games that are going to be happening in this game. We have a Joy Factor question, which is tougher than any chess game that you can play. Over to you, Professor Bhattacharya.
This is an easy one. I mean,
after this build-up?
Joyda is going to say this is an easy one.
What has South African Dean Elgar done 3 times, which only 4 Indians have achieved in the history of Test cricket? He himself has done it 3 times, but only 4 Indians have ever done it.
Yeah.
And Dean Elgar is not the greatest South African cricketer to play the game. He's a good cricketer. But it's an
eaten paranthas for breakfast before scoring a century?
So that Sehwag has done more.
40 times himself. He's done it. All right. My 11 circle, expert couch predictions. England, of course, batting first. How many are they going to get? What's your guess? You've already put it in.
350.
350? You're sticking to it? Excellent. What are you going with, sir?
I'm going to go at 298.
298?
Joy.
Kya ho gaya, sir?
What? I just suddenly feel that they'll lose a few wickets and all that. There'll be a bit more.
Joy,
I think Joy is playing mind games with us. First he just said, no, England have an edge. Then he's saying, no, England will only get below 300. What's he doing?
On this pitch with Cardiff with 4 fast bowlers, England and Bangladesh are going to struggle to bat on this.
So I have a feeling this whole spin thing will backfire today.
Oh, yeah?
I think it'll backfire, and I think you
Love
guys
it.
will make the most of it. 350.
Loving it. Loving it.
298,
How
and
many
you can
things
get
have we brought up today? I love it. You have no idea where we stand. And that's what we are. We're politicians sometimes.
Oh, God. No.
I'll tell you what happens.
What's your prediction, by the way?
I'll tell you, this is very easy. Sometimes being, analyzing cricket, even as a fan or as a former player, I think the interesting thing is, say things which are sort of here, so then later you can just tipple over whichever side, right? But that's what I said. I learned this from the great master, Mr. Navjot Singh Sidhu. Learned from the best.
We learned from the best.
I did learn from the best. My prediction, it's gonna go big. 380.
Oh, nice.
380.
Go big or go home.
Can I tell you the truth about this? The only thing that is common with all his predictions is he hates a frame made by the couch.
Oh, so he doesn't
always-
want
What is
that.
this
He always makes a
He doesn't want that.
He never wants to sit there. That's all this is about.
What a conspiracy. This is like the Sunil Narayan conspiracy theory. Who doesn't like winning? I love winning. Who doesn't like winning?
You don't like that couch, Gaurav. Tell the truth. Tell the viewers.
You know something?
Tell them the truth.
It's the prestige of getting that couch, but I wanna win it with. I don't want to win it with conservative predictions. I want to win it with like sort of big. I want the fans to win as well. I don't want to win alone. I don't want to say, 150 all out and the game will get over in 25 overs. No, there's no fun in that.
I want
no
to say
sense, bro.
bullshit to you, but I will not say bullshit. I'll say cow dung.
Oh, it's getting smelly in here. No, but there's some good smell coming. You got biryani from home, didn't you?
Yes.
That's the good smell. That's the good stuff. Me hungry now. Me go. We see you at the end of the 15th over on Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you for watching. My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Of course, we're going to sit down and watch England get 375 runs, and we're going to eat some biryani. See you soon.